This first clip was filmed by a guy at his girlfriend's apartment after she kept telling him something weird. Every night, around the same time, it sounded like someone else was inside with her. At first, he laughed it off because she said it so casually, he thought she was just messing with him. But one night, she called him in full panic, and that tone was different. So he drove over late at night, and this is what he ended up catching on camera. Watch and listen closely.
But I'm here at my girlfriend's house by myself. She always says it's haunted because it sounds like somebody is walking around upstairs. I've never heard it until now.
This one scared me.
I always say it's not haunted because the house is a little old. But it legit sounds like there's somebody upstairs. I will swing on a ghost, or if it's a person, I don't care. Who's up there? Oh my God, they're like at the top of the stairs.
You could hear it.
Come down these stairs and I will swing on you, I promise.
Now here's the thing, how do you handle an intruder you can't even see? Some people watching this clip think it's totally explainable. Maybe the pipes in her apartment bang at the same time every night, or maybe there's an old ventilation system making weird sounds. Others pointed out that in older buildings you can sometimes hear neighbors moving around and it sounds like it's coming from inside your own place. But then there's the darker side of the speculation. Some say this isn't just about creaky pipes or neighbors. This feels like a residual haunting, where the same activity happens at the same time every night, almost like a loop. Others even suggested sleepwalking or shared hallucinations, but the timing is what throws everyone off. People in the comments have been throwing out ideas on how to handle it. Set up cameras in every room, call in a paranormal investigator, bring a priest or spiritual leader to bless the space, or just move out and don't look back. But what about you? If this was happening in your home, same time every night, noises you can't explain, what would your first move be? Now, this next clip comes from a guy named Josh, who finally decided to speak up about the things he's been dealing with in his apartment. Watch this.
Okay, I keep hearing shit up here. There's nobody else home besides me. Just definitely know what's coming from. I don't care. I left that on, so that's okay. Not again. I don't want to deal with this. I do not want to deal with this. No, not again. Not again, not again, not again, not again. Not again, not again, not again, not again.
He calls it the Hat Man. Some people say when you start seeing shadows in your house, especially shadowy figures with hats, it's not just a trick of the light. In folklore, the Hat Man is known as a type of shadow person, a dark presence that watches but rarely interacts. Others think it's more psychological, linked to sleep paralysis or extreme stress. Basically your mind playing tricks when you're half awake. But posting this clip sparked a heated debate online. Ghosts don't have shadows. One side insists if a ghost is pure energy, it can't block light, so there's no way it should be casting a shadow. The other side claps back with, no, shadow people are their own category. They're not ghosts, they're entities, and that's why they look like living darkness. It turned into one of those arguments where both sides are convinced they're right. But back to Josh, it's not just this figure. He's woken up to find the cross in his room flipped upside down, heard whispers he can't explain, and says he never feels calm at home. And when there's no peace in your house, it messes with your mind. So what do you think Josh is dealing with? And the bigger question, do ghosts have shadows, or is this proof of something completely different? Like other videos, I'll let you decide. This next video was captured inside a museum in Nottingham, England. And to most people who visited this place, what you're about to see wasn't much of a surprise. The building is home to one of the UK's most unsettling collections of paranormal artifacts and haunted objects. Officially, it's called the Museum of Curiosities, but many still know it by its old name, the Haunted Museum. Early one morning, around 6:18 a.m., one of the security cameras recorded something that still has people talking. Watch closely. A human bone said to be over 400 years old appears to shatter on its own. And with the kind of history this museum holds, it's hard to pass that off as simple coincidence. Because here's the thing, this place isn't just a random collection of antiques. It houses cursed dolls, Ouija boards, and ritual objects linked to witchcraft and the occult. Visitors have reported sudden drops in temperature, hearing whispers when no one is around, and even feeling like they've been touched by unseen hands. Staff members themselves have claimed to witness objects moving, lights flickering, and in some cases, guests collapsing after feeling overwhelmed by the energy inside. So when a clip like this surfaces, the question becomes, was this really just an old artifact giving way to time, or was it something else entirely? In a museum that has a reputation for storing haunted relics, the idea of paranormal interference isn't so easy to dismiss. So what do you think? Was this just fragile history crumbling on its own, or something far darker at work? This clip is about a delivery guy who, in his own words, lives life one day at a time. But recently, his days have been anything but ordinary. For months, he's been trying to explain the strange things he's seen and heard while on the job. But every time he shares his stories, his friends either laugh or brush it off as him being dramatic. Everything changed on the 14th of September, 2022, when he was assigned to deliver at a newly developed site with fresh, unfinished buildings. The place looked quiet, almost too quiet, but as soon as he entered one of the buildings, he began hearing strange sounds echoing from deep inside, footsteps when nobody was there, faint voices that seemed to vanish the moment he tried to follow them. At first, he ran out, unsettled, but he couldn't shake the feeling that what he heard was real. So the very next day, he went back. This time, not for work, but for proof. Have a look.
I'm at this house in somewhere North Carolina. Brand new house. Just has been built. And I was making a delivery here yesterday. And I kept hearing something upstairs. And I'm the only one here. I was here by myself. But something kept bumping around up here. Sounded like somebody was walking across the floor. So today we're going to come check it out. See what it could be. It's kind of odd. As you see, nobody's here. I'm here by myself. Nobody's around. Every single room is empty. Closet. I don't see anything that would have been moved or could move that's up here loose or anything. See, nobody's here. Nobody's hiding anywhere. Nope, nobody. Nobody. See? Now who the hell is crazy now? Did you hear that thump? See, I'm here by myself. Nobody's here. Just me. What the hell? See, nobody's here. What the hell was that? It's a brand new damn house. Nobody's here. We'll go up there in a minute. Still gotta make sure so everybody doesn't think that I'm crazy. I have somebody here with me. Nobody's here. Just me. Nobody's here. He's back out to the hall. Nobody's here. Let's see what could be going on. Nobody's here. There's nothing possible that could be bumping around by itself or thumping. Nobody, nothing. No animals, no nothing. So, strange how a brand new house is already haunted. Let's see. I just needed proof. But yet again, nobody's here. Proof.
What he recorded stunned even him, and now he's sure that the noises weren't just in his head, they were real, and now undeniable. But he's still worried his friends will dismiss it as edited audio or coincidence, so his plan is simple: bring them along next time. Because sometimes, he says, people only believe what they can see and feel themselves. The woman in this next video works at a 911 dispatch center, and if you've ever worked late nights in a quiet building, you know how unsettling little noises can be. But what she experienced went way beyond that. Here's the first thing she captured.
So I'm just sitting at work, and I hear things fall in the lobby. Not sure. And the lights are off. They were on. Oh, and they're on now. All right, yeah, I'm gonna be done with that. Oh, nope, I'm done. I'm done. Okay. Oh, what was that?
Now, because of some sensitive information posted on the walls, she had to place her camera down. But these strange events had already been happening for weeks. She talked about hearing phones ring that weren't connected to any line, drawers sliding open by themselves, even the faint sound of someone whispering her name when she was the only one on duty. The scariest part? It all seemed to start the day her boss mentioned relocating the dispatch center to a new building. And once viewers picked up on that detail, the theories poured in. Some said that the very talk of moving might have disturbed whatever's attached to the building, like a spirit that didn't want to be abandoned. Others suggested the activity could be tied to the calls themselves. After all, 911 dispatch centers handle stories of life and death every single day. Could those energies be leaving an imprint? Either way, after her first experience, she decided to start documenting everything. She wanted to show her boss exactly what was happening, hoping he'd finally take the moving out idea more seriously. And here's what she recorded next.
So I'm at work again. Poulter's acting up as we're now referring to her. And maybe it's somebody. I don't know. Nobody should be here. There's literally no one here.
After posting that, people began urging her to go one step further, to actually try communicating with whatever was behind this. Maybe it was trying to send a message, or maybe it just wanted to be acknowledged. And that's exactly what she did. Have a look.
Okay, guys. I'm going to do what some of you suggested today and try to communicate with the spirit at work. This is just a proof that no one is here with me. I'm here by myself. No one here. I'm gonna try not once for yes and twice for no. Is there anyone here with me? Do you know who I am? Are you stuck here?
But this is where things escalated. What happened next had her seriously considering quitting her job on the spot.
So, y'all have been following my Polter diaries here lately. So I'm pretty sure there's something standing in the doorway to the break room. Am I crazy, or is that somebody standing there? Do y'all see that?
When she noticed movement was the moment she completely lost it. The online reaction exploded into debate. Some argued that not all shadow figures are malicious, that sometimes they're just neutral presences caught between worlds. Others insisted these beings feed on fear, and the more she acknowledged it, the stronger it would become. A few skeptics chimed in too, saying long night shifts and the stress of handling emergency calls could easily play tricks on her mind. But if that were the case, how do you explain what she caught on camera? Her boss eventually stepped in, promising she wouldn't have to work alone again. But many think he wasn't just trying to reassure her. Deep down, he probably wanted confirmation for himself. After all, if multiple people started seeing the same things, that would be a whole different story. And then, one night she was back on duty, this time not by herself. But what happened next proved she wasn't imagining any of it.
Hey guys, this is just an update to let you all know that I'm okay. I'm back at work today, but I'm no longer working by myself. I have someone here with me. Everything's been fine so far. We haven't had anything today, so... And here we go. What was that? What came from the hallway? Oh my god. No. Oh my god.
At that point, it became undeniable. She wasn't just hearing things, she wasn't just seeing things, it was really happening. But since this last clip was posted, there's been no clear update or further explanation, and like so many other cases, this one remains a mystery. The following video was captured by Liv one quiet Saturday evening while she was home alone with her cat. For weeks now, at exactly 7:33 p.m., she would hear scratching sounds. Not the usual kind you dismiss as pipes or rodents, but deep, deliberate scraping, as if something was trying to claw its way through the walls. On some nights, the doorknobs would rattle, lights would flicker in quick bursts, and the cat would stare into corners as if it's following something invisible. One evening, Liv finally set up her phone to record, and this is what she caught. If you turn your volume up and listen carefully, you'll hear the chilling sound of scratches coming from inside the walls. Then, suddenly, objects begin to fall from shelves like a force was shaking the place from the inside out. Now, here's where it gets weird. People are asking why the cat wasn't reacting, and honestly, it's a fair question. But sometimes animals, especially cats, can grow desensitized to long-term spiritual presences, especially if they've been exposed repeatedly. Some experts even believe the spirit may have attached itself to the cat, which could explain its eerie calmness. Liv isn't taking any more chances, so she's made an appointment to have the house cleansed, and because the activity keeps escalating, she has also contacted a private investigator to dig into the house's history. The following clips were recorded by Linda, who has been experiencing strange and unexplained activity in her home. And the strange part? It only ever happens when she's completely alone. For weeks, she brushed it off as her imagination, until the sounds became impossible to ignore, and it kept happening week after week. She decided to set up a camera, and this is what she captured. You can hear heavy footsteps running up and down the stairs like someone's pacing in a hurry, but she is completely alone, and this strange sound usually lasts for about 20 minutes, and then everything goes still. This disturbing activity continued for weeks, growing worse with time, and at one point, it was not just one staircase, it was every staircase in the house, like the entity had grown bolder or multiplied.
You guys, I'm hearing it again, but from downstairs this time. Nope.
Some skeptics tried to discredit her claim, saying the stairs weren't fully shown in the clips. So, the next time it happened, Linda made sure to record the entire stairs.
I keep hearing somebody walk up and down my stairs, but there is obviously nobody there. There's nothing there. And it keeps coming up and down, up and down.
Now here's what makes this truly terrifying. Hearing running footsteps with no visible source is often linked to residual hauntings. It's a replay of something traumatic, usually tied to moments of panic, flight, or even death. It's like the spirit is stuck, reliving its final moments again and again. And now, Linda has admitted that she no longer feels safe staying in the house alone, so she's sent her footage to a ghost hunter, and an investigation is already underway. We wish her luck. A guy named Marcus has been dealing with something far worse than nightmares. For months now, he's been jolted out of sleep by violent, unexplainable events happening right inside his room. We're talking drawers yanked open with force, chairs flung to the side, loud bangs against the wall, and sometimes his blankets being pulled off in the middle of the night. On more than one occasion, objects have flown off shelves and deep scratches have appeared on his bedroom wall. Scratches he didn't make. So one night, determined to prove he wasn't losing his mind, Marcus set up a camera while he slept, and this is what he caught.
In the name of Jesus Christ, I ask you to leave this house this instant. In the name of Jesus Christ, I ask you to leave this house.
He lives completely alone, and his bedroom is always locked from the inside before he sleeps, so there's no possible way anyone else could have been in that room. And with the force and aggression of the entity causing these activities, there's no other reason than the presence of a demon. Marcus sent the footage to his family priest, and thankfully, they've scheduled a day for serious prayers and cleansing. We wish him luck in banishing this tormenting spirit. A young mother named Grace has always believed her late husband still watches over their daughter, Emma, who was just a month old when he passed. From lights flickering on during their bedtime routines, to Emma giggling and reaching out toward empty spaces as if someone were there, Grace has experienced enough to believe he visits. One night, she finally caught this on camera.
Go show Mama. Go show Mommy.
You can see little Emma sobbing uncontrollably, stretching her arms, pointing toward her dad's photo. And whenever she does this, she doesn't calm down until she's holding it in her hands. This video touched so many hearts, and the comments were flooded with people sharing their own emotional experiences and moments they also felt the presence of someone they lost. Have you ever felt something like that? A visit? Or a sign? Because sometimes all it takes is one moment like this to believe they're still out there. Dan and his wife had just moved into a new apartment, and they were excited to start their family and build memories in their new home. But from day one, the apartment had other plans. It's either the light, the tap turning on in the middle of the night, things falling off shelves that no one touched, gentle footsteps when no one was walking, and sometimes soft humming coming from the hallway. Most visitors brushed it off as poor construction or plumbing issues, but Dan and his wife could feel it wasn't structural, but spiritual. After a few months, they reached out to a medium, and that's when they discovered the truth. According to the medium, the spirit in the apartment was that of a young child who once lived there, the son of the original owners, and he meant no harm. With that knowledge, the couple chose to stay, and they even did a few protective rituals around the house, just in case the spirit decides to be violent. Now, years later, even with kids of their own, the family still lives in the home, and they've grown quite fond of their ghostly roommate. Take a look at what this family has to keep up with living with a ghost.
Get a tissue!
I wasn't picking my nose!
Don't yell like that.
I was putting my hand by my nose, but I
Look at
wasn't
me.
picking it.
First of all, don't raise your voice like that. Inappropriate. And see, now the ghost is very upset. Don't do that.
That, and there's no ghost in here.
Well, I don't know.
Dan and his wife are still trying to convince their kids that there is a ghost living with them, but the children aren't buying it. They think it's all one big joke, and the parents don't mind, as long as the kids can still laugh it off. And don't start waking up from nightmares, they're willing to let them believe whatever makes them feel safe. I agree, not many people can handle living with a ghost, but Dan and his family, they don't seem to mind, so we wish them luck and hope they know exactly what they're doing. The following clips were recorded by Kyle Anthony after weeks of claiming his house was haunted, claims none of his close friends or family members took seriously. According to them, it was just stress, or maybe the pipes, but Kyle and his fiancée had been experiencing some truly disturbing things, like utensils clattering in locked drawers, the smell of burning hair with no fire in sight, and strange whispers they could only hear when the lights went out. One night, when Kyle was getting ready for bed, the activity got worse. He was just about to turn off the lights when he heard a violent bang from the attic. It wasn't the kind of creak you'd expect from an old house, but a forceful, frantic pounding, like someone or something was trying to break through the attic door. This time, Kyle made sure he went with his phone, and this is what he captured.
Alright, for any of y'all who don't believe that this is real, then I'm just making it up. I'm about to prove it to you. There's nothing up here. There's nothing up here. Told you.
The force of whatever entity causing this was more than just aggressive, it was invasive. And such violent contacts are often a warning sign the spirit isn't just there, it's asserting its right or declaring ownership. When Kyle got inside the attic, every step he took inside the attic felt like something was waiting. And when he posted the clip online, viewers noticed something he didn't. A glowing orb moving across the screen just before the clip ended. That orb was the confirmation many needed to believe the attic wasn't empty. There was a spirit roaming. But it wasn't just the attic. Every night since then, a strange banging sound would echo from outside, always around the same time, and always from the same direction. One morning, the sound woke them up again, so Kyle stepped outside with his phone, and this is what he saw.
Alright, we woke up to the banging sound outside of our bedroom again. It sounded like it was coming from outside, yet again. But I think I know where it's coming from, so I'm going to show you. Right there. I think it's coming from there. Something is banging on that. It's happened, it happened last night, it happened 2 nights ago. That's our bedroom window right there. I hope there's nothing trapped in there, a raccoon, I don't know. But it's been freaking us out, waking us up. So we're gonna take a look. Goodness gracious. I can't see very far down there. Let me see if my light helps. I can't see all the way to the end, but I don't see anything. And that goes around a corner. I don't know if I can even fit between the blocks and that pipe, but I guess we're gonna have to take a look in there. Fuck.
The crawl space was completely empty with no raccoons and no rats, but Kyle knew what this meant. If there was no animal and it wasn't faulty construction, something else was definitely inside his house. Kyle tried to live with it, hoping it would stop, but the activity only escalated. One night, multiple events happened at once. Unexplainable footsteps, appliances switching on, and a door slamming shut when no one was near.
I did not notice that this door opened by itself. I did not notice. I was just trying to get the heck out of here. And to those of y'all that are asking, did I leave my fiance in the house by herself? No, I did not. She was waiting for me on the porch. I told her that when I got in the car, I was gonna film a TikTok really quick. So she went out and waited on the front porch while I backed the car out of the garage. I would not leave her here by herself on a night when this place is lit up like a rave with lights flickering and doors rattling and all that crap. Of course I wouldn't do that. But, I mean, I guess it's understandable that y'all were asking about it. But no. And I have not been in there. I haven't been in this little utility room yet. It's just the water heater and a bunch of junk. There's not going to be anything in there. But let's have a look. Let's have a look real quick. How about it? Into the darkness we stick our freaking hand. Yeah, nothing there. Junk. Bunch of junk. Greatest TikTok of all time, right?
The energy in this room was noticeably stronger, and it could be that whatever's haunting the house is connected to an event that happened here in the past. Or Kyle may have unknowingly brought something cursed into the house, like a thrifted object, or a second-hand piece of furniture. And we know how these things carry dark energy. Things took a disturbing turn days later, and this time, it wasn't just the banging anymore.
Alright, I am home alone, and I am hearing a little kid laughing in the basement. And I do not have children. This is freaking me out. Yeah, you hear it too? Go. Move. I'll try to go down there. Oh God, let's see if we hear it. Goodness gracious. Shit. Do you hear that? Oh my God, that's freaky. I don't have children. I don't have children. And I'm home alone. My fiance just went with her sister to the mall. Don't hear it anymore now. Goodness gracious.
If you listen closely, you'll hear the creepy sound of children laughing, and even the cats are visibly agitated. Sometimes, hearing children laughing, especially when there are no children around, can be a dark spirit pretending to be something innocent to lure you in before revealing their true form. Kyle has not been able to have one single peaceful night without something strange happening, and it was getting impossible to dismiss it as a coincidence. One night, Kyle tried to get some sleep, praying nothing would happen, but something woke him up. Other than what you just saw in the clip, if you look closely, you'll see a faint pulsing light in the glass jar sitting on top of the TV stand, almost like something alive trapped inside, or a contained energy trying to manifest. Experts say when spirits grow bold enough to interfere with light, especially enclosed light, they've grown stronger. And this was really the case because after this night, it became worse.
This is freaking crazy. Check this out. The knocking is happening in the attic. Listen to that. Gosh dang it. The light just keeps... why is this my life? This is driving me nuts. It's just constant. I don't know what to do. I just do not know what to do. Goodness.
When an expert reviewed this footage, they pointed out something bizarre. The knocks followed a pattern. 9 knocks, then 14. That's I and N in the alphabet for in. Was it trying to say it was inside, or was it inviting Kyle in? Some believe it was trying to possess a space, or even a person. Others pointed out the eerie synchronicity between the knocking and Kyle's emotions, as if the spirit was feeding off his fear. At this point, Kyle was torn between 2 horrifying possibilities. Either something was trying to torment him, or it was desperately trying to say something. But how do you tell the difference? He has tried everything. Salt across the doorways, iron nails near the windows, even burning sage, and it helped for a week until this happened.
I'll watch this and tell me if you see what I see. Well, I thought we had a quiet night, Shelley. Thought we had a quiet night. It was a quiet night. Everything just stopped. Here, play with that.
If you look closely toward the bottom left corner, you'll see a shadowy figure moving, and if you keep watching, you'll see something even worse. The small box was moving. After Kyle posted this clip, viewers were seriously worried, not just about the spirit, but about Kyle's safety. Many warned him that keeping objects like that doll could lead to possession, or even spiritual attachment that follows him outside the house, and they're not wrong. Others are convinced the doll is the source of all the activities, and that the spirit might stop playing games and become hostile. And judging by how things have been escalating, they might be right, because this kind of activity doesn't fade, it grows. Kyle has reached out to a ghost hunter, and the full footage has been sent in for professional review. Hopefully, they'll be able to pinpoint exactly what's been causing the surge in activity and how to get rid of it. But from everything we've seen, I don't have any doubt. There's a ghost in that house. This next clip was recorded by Sammy, who had been sensing something strange in her home for weeks now. At first, it was small things like the lights flickering at midnight, the sound of someone pacing in the hallway when she was home alone, and an icy breeze that always seemed to pass through the living room without warning. But what really convinced her that something wasn't right was her dog. Sammy's dog had always been calm, but lately it had started growling at empty corners, barking aggressively toward the hallway, refusing to enter certain rooms entirely, and even barking furiously at the empty chair that sat facing her bed. Sammy brushed it off at first, until one evening her dog refused to enter her room, and when her dog finally did, this was what happened. People say if you have a chair facing your bed, the dead come to sit and watch while you sleep. And if you leave a mirror facing your bed, you open a portal between this world and theirs. But Sammy isn't too bothered by these warnings. In fact, she welcomes the idea because she's been connecting with spirits since she was 4. But she agrees something was different about this night, so in her next clip, she revealed something deeply personal. Sammy believes it could be her twin brother who her mother lost during pregnancy, and the timing made it more convincing. That night was their birthday, so it felt too timed to be a coincidence. Still, to be sure, she sent the clips to a trusted medium and is currently awaiting a full reading. But the fact that the dog is growling like this is enough reason to consider other possibilities. Because dogs often detect dark spirits faster than humans, and growling, especially at a fixed spot, is a classic sign of a dark presence. We can't say for sure what it is yet, but I think we can all agree on one thing. There's certainly a spirit in that house. The following video is about Dustin, who you might remember from earlier features on this channel. Lately, his life has been anything but normal. For months now, he's been dealing with things most of us only read about. Dark figures that follow him, growls in empty rooms, and whispers that call his name. One night, while working an overnight shift, he caught something that made his skin crawl. Watch.
Chug the Red Bull because I don't like it. Is that moving?
He's called in friends, religious figures, even skeptics, and nothing has offered a permanent fix. The presence follows him to work, follows him home, and sometimes it feels like it's closer than the air around him. When he reviewed the footage from that night, he said something he'd never said before. He's scared to be alone. So what's going on with Dustin? There are a few schools of thought. Some say he's been attached to by a spirit that latched on during a traumatic moment or after an encounter he can't recall. Others argue he's an empathic magnet, the type of person who unintentionally draws paranormal energy because of sensitivity, lifestyle, or unresolved trauma. A third camp insists it's pattern recognition. Go to enough strange places and weird things will happen often enough to look like a trend. And there's the harder line. Are we looking at a ghost or something darker and more capable of harm? Whatever you call it, one thing is certain. This has become Dustin's reality. He's exhausted, he's scared, and he's running out of options that don't make him look crazy. So I'll leave it to you. Would you keep working those night shifts, call in paranormal investigators, move away, or try something else entirely? And if you've been through something similar, tell us what worked for you. This next clip is about a lady who went to the hospital one evening to do some decorating for an event that was scheduled early the next morning. She expected it to be quiet, empty, and uneventful, the kind of job you finish in peace before heading home, but what she captured that night says otherwise. Watch. According to her, she had been placed in a section of the hospital where no one was supposed to be, specifically so she could work without distractions. Yet, as she began setting up, she suddenly heard the faint but unmistakable sound of a baby crying. The cry echoed down the corridor, distant but clear enough, so she immediately checked with admin staff to see if there were any child patients admitted or visitors present that evening, but their response was no. She posted the video online hoping someone could give her an explanation she could live with, perhaps an audio glitch, or maybe noise carrying from another part of the hospital, but the timing and the fact that she was isolated makes that difficult to believe. In this next clip, a man named Austin caught the most disturbing, blood-freezing disembodied voices he's ever heard, all on his home CCTV while he was asleep. Watch this.
So this has to be probably one of the most disturbing EVPs that I've ever captured. While I slept last night, I was actually falling asleep on my couch right here. And I literally heard a woman scream out my name. And from there, I started to hear laughter and what I believe to be me coming out of my body. I ended up staring at these closet doors here, and they were open, staring into the darkness. And I started yelling prayers out at this thing, knowing something dark was here with me. And I woke up with the chills and proceeded to bless my place afterwards. So it's truly creepy. So what I'm about to play you here is this really insane EVP I decided to film while I was sleeping last night. And what you're going to hear here is what I just discovered happened while I was sleeping. And I'm also going to be going live tonight to see what else happens here, but it definitely validated my experience last night, in my opinion. There was truly something dark here for whatever that reason, I don't know, but here's the clip.
Waking up to that footage the next morning shook him to his core. He prayed, blessed the house, but nothing stopped it. And days later, he heard something whisper, clear as day, that his closet was a portal. That same night, while he slept, the camera caught something else. He stopped sleeping in that room, he stopped leaving things by the closet. He started examining the house history and found old rental records showing a long list of tenants who left suddenly. He saved every clip, made backups, and then did the only thing left that felt safe. He began looking for a new place. A lot of people said he was overreacting, but if you've ever had to leave a place because it felt wrong, tell us how you knew it was time. Now in this next clip, an explorer visits the abandoned old Idaho penitentiary, a place steeped in history and tragedy. Visitors have long reported icy cold spots, disembodied whispers in empty corridors, and shadowy figures that seem to vanish the moment you focus on them. Many believe the intense suffering endured by inmates left behind something that never really moved on, a kind of spiritual imprint etched into the very walls. When this group of explorers arrived, they went in knowing the stories, but weren't fully prepared for what they captured. Watch this.
Holy Can you move again? Can you hear us?
Dude. Alex, seriously.
Coming towards you.
Hello?
What the Dude, somebody's screaming. Oh my Dude, shut up!
Those screams didn't sound like a trick of the wind or echoes of the building settling. They were sharp, pained, and desperate. The kind of sound you'd expect from someone trapped in pure fear. After that, the explorers didn't stick around long enough to test whether the rumors were exaggerated or not. For them, that moment was more than enough. And what's unsettling is how often visitors describe hearing similar sounds in the same cell blocks, almost as though the walls themselves are replaying the pain of the past. Some think it's residual energy, others believe the spirits of former inmates are still crying out for release. Either way, what they caught that night has people convinced the old Idaho penitentiary isn't just haunted, it's echoing with the memories of those who never left. Now in this next clip, Ruby and her husband have always joked about having a ghost in their house, a spirit they believe stayed confined to just one of the bedrooms, but lately it's starting to look like they were wrong. One day, Ruby was home alone when this happened.
Mac, it's okay. Why are you doing this, mate? Isn't me. Mac, this is happening inside you. You're letting it consume you. You don't have to. Now what?
Other times, she's noticed the sound of pacing footsteps across the hallway late at night, when both she and her husband were already in bed. At first, they thought it might be the house settling, until the steps would suddenly stop right outside their door, almost as if someone was standing there, listening. She's also reported hearing faint whispers from the kitchen, and when she'd go in to check, the chairs would be pulled slightly out, like someone had been sitting there moments before. Her husband has had his own experiences too. On more than one occasion, he said he woke up to the feeling of someone sitting on the edge of their bed, only to roll over and see nothing there. One evening, while Ruby was in the shower, she heard him calling her name from the living room, only to step out and find the house completely empty, her husband still at work. So whatever they thought was harmless and contained seems to have spread its reach through the whole house. And now, with clips like this, Ruby isn't laughing anymore. In the following video, a guy shares what he's been dealing with for months now, every single night, and how it's slowly driving him nuts. Watch this.
Alright, let's investigate.
He says it's gotten to the point where he almost expects it, yet it still jolts him every time. Sometimes he forces himself to ignore it, but other times he gets up to check, because strangely enough, that's the only thing that makes it stop. The knocking has followed him through so many moments, waking him from deep sleep, interrupting his late night calls, even breaking his focus while he's working on projects. It's gotten so bad that he has to explain to people on the phone why they can hear what sounds like someone pounding at his door, even though nobody is there. One night, while he was still on his computer trying to distract himself and get some work done, this happened. Take a look.
Alright. I just want to let you guys know, like, I'm home alone. There's nobody here. Whoa, okay.
Now, he started sending these recordings to friends, hoping they'll finally believe him. Yet, even with the video evidence, some still think it's just his imagination, or some kind of trick of the pipes, or even neighbors playing around, but he insists that the sound doesn't behave like anything natural, and it's always at odd hours, always in the same pattern, and it always stops the moment he checks. So could it really be something paranormal, or is there some logical explanation he just can't see? You decide. In the following video, Kelsey shares a strange experience that took place just days after a heartbreaking loss, and she even shares what she thinks might be behind it. Now, just for context, Kelsey's grandfather was a huge believer in ghosts and spirits, and he always told her that if he ever made it to the other side, he'd find a way to prove he's still around. Sadly, he passed away on November 12th, 2023, and 2 days later, Kelsey woke up to this.
See? What the? What the? Nobody's down here.
For some reason, the lights downstairs were flashing, and at first she assumed one of her kids had gotten out of bed and was messing around. But here's where it gets strange. As she reaches halfway down the stairs, the lights suddenly turn off and stay off. But with nothing unusual in sight, she goes back to bed. A few moments later, it happens again. Only this time, she wakes her husband and they both go to check. And once again, right when they get halfway down the stairs, the lights turn off and stay off. Now, this is where things start to get pretty creepy. Ever since that night, it hasn't happened again. So now Kelsey is left wondering, is this just faulty wiring? A coincidence? A sign from her grandpa like he promised? Or something else entirely? Some viewers believe it was a gentle message from her grandpa. Others aren't so sure, and some wonder if it wasn't her grandfather at all, but something else entirely. Like other videos, I'll let you come up with your own conclusions. Now, this next video comes from Kuma, a content creator who usually posts casual moments from his everyday life, time with friends, and life around the city. But viewers get completely thrown off when he shares something way creepier, an unsettling encounter inside his new home, which used to be a church before it was converted into a community space. Before we get into the footage, here's what you need to know. Kuma had barely been living in the house for 3 days when he started hearing unexplained screams and strange noises echoing through the building late at night. And according to him, the strange activity seemed to intensify right after he and his friends had a conversation about the paranormal events that happened at his old place. But it gets a whole lot stranger when his friends come over one evening and they actually catch something on camera. Have a look. This white balloon was gently drifting through the hallway like it had somewhere to be, but the moment they decide to follow it, and as they're talking about how bizarre it is, the balloon suddenly stops, then begins moving faster, this time chasing them instead. At this point, they panic and run.
Separate? No. Like, move away from it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was like, no. It is what in the say faster, motherfucker.
It continued to get quicker and more aggressive.
If it comes towards us, I'm grabbing shit, we're dipping.
But here's the strange part. Somehow, the balloon ends up exactly where they run to, and the way it moves, it's not random. It drifts with intent, slowing down, then speeding up, like it's choosing where to go next.
In here. Oh, hell no! Oh, shit! If it comes in towards up,
The noise you hear is a small electrical box that has the littlest airflow that has ever existed.
Dude, no.
Oh, it's being blown around.
Okay, wait, maybe it's done now. Dude, you snapped over that way. Why? Why? Dude, no, because like my phone's actually like glitching out too. Why? Hold on. Dude, we're gonna have to walk. Okay, that was that. Oh wait, no, because that was that. Okay, we might have got it trapped. Is it cold?
Oh, there's barely even coming out of it.
Why is it going so fast then?
Move.
There's no air in that shit. Oh.
It eventually stops at the base of the stairs, almost like it's deciding what to do, maybe watching them split up and trying to figure out who to follow. But when one of the friends heads to the other side of the building to investigate further, he sees something else.
The second one snuck down the stairs and jolted upwards. We investigated, and there were no signs of force there anywhere at that time.
You can come back down here and join us. You probably just got pushed by some air.
I know it's probably frustrating to have been pushed around by all that air, but as you can see with the other balloon, it's not as windy over here in the middle by us.
It went almost the same route as the first balloon.
And guess what it's doing? Are you gonna come join us, or are you gonna go downstairs?
Apparently, there's two of them. After quietly monitoring it, the balloon drifts quietly into the gym and settles in a shadowy corner of the room where it stops moving completely. Now, looking back at the video, viewers point out that while it might seem funny at first, there's something really unsettling about the movement of these balloons, especially when you remember this building had years of untouched history. And who knows what may have taken place within those walls. Somehow, the whole thing feels like more than coincidence and remains a mystery. This next clip shows Luke having a quiet evening when he decides to check his CCTV footage just out of curiosity, but what he finds completely throws him off. Watch.
So I'm currently home alone, watching mine CTV. Mind you, my masks are right up there. What the f is this? So like I said, I'm watching this bullshit as if that's not freaky enough. At midnight, home alone. What's really creeping me out is the fact that there is a mask on my fridge. Here, let me zoom. That's not my mask. My mask is behind me. So I don't know who put that mask here. Bro, what the f? Where'd the f***ing mask go?
While Luke is still trying to explain, it suddenly disappears, almost like something removed it entirely. But this incident gets a whole lot stranger because after sharing the clip online, viewers start pointing out something Luke hadn't noticed before, and the reaction forces him to make a pretty big confession, along with a brand new wave of concern. Here's what he shared.
I didn't expect this video to blow up, but since y'all are asking, we live up in this hoe. We live. The masks are up there. But I'm going to shoot you guys straight. I did put a mask on top of the fridge. But what I can't seem to understand, and what I'm actually kind of fucking freaked out about, is the fact that there was a silhouette. See, I hate to be the bearer of bad news because I did put this mask over there. I'll admit it, I did. But what's freaking me out is you guys pointing out the fact that there's a silhouette. I don't know what's casting a shadow here or what's going on here, but like, I did have to turn on the lights after this because you guys started pointing this out. I turned on the lights and put on the office because what the fuck? Is Michael Myers up in my house? What the fuck just happened? That's some bullshit. Alright, so there's the fridge that I put the mask on top of. It was sitting right up there. There's the piece of paper, but I have no idea what could have casted the shadow or made the silhouette. I'm still confused by this. It's freaking me out. I don't know.
Some viewers believe something inside the house has taken form, that whatever presence may be there has chosen a face and is starting to make itself known. And with the growing number of strange things he's experiencing, he's starting to wonder if whatever this is might not stop here. Luke also admits that there have been odd things happening around the house for a while now, things he thought were nothing until this video started getting traction. Luke is still confused by it all, and honestly a little unsettled because somehow what people saw in this clip is worse than what he originally posted. Paranormal or not, something doesn't feel right here. In this next clip, Alea shares some strange activity that's been happening in their home, particularly in their bedroom. According to her, things have been visibly moving on the bed in ways that don't make any sense. One night, she sees this when she decides to check her security camera footage, and when she turns around and something even more unsettling was happening. Take a look. You can clearly see the cover shifting, like something is crawling under it. But there's no wind, no air vent, and Alea explains that the background noise is just white noise from her TV. which she was recording at the time. She also points out that the bed is flat on the floor, making it even more confusing. And what makes this even more unsettling is the timing. Alea had recently lost 2 significant people in her life, both within just 5 months of each other. So naturally, the idea that this could be connected isn't easy to ignore. But this is where things start to get pretty creepy. One comment in particular caught Alea's attention, someone warning that the activity might escalate. And they weren't wrong, because not long after, this happens.
That's never done that.
That cabinet had never acted up before until the bed activity started, and from there, it's been one strange event after another. Nothing in the house feels normal anymore. Now, Alea and her husband aren't exactly scared because they've lived in a house with what they believe was demonic energy before, but this time, they're just trying to figure out what exactly they're dealing with. So, did Alea capture something paranormal? Or is there another explanation for what's going on in their home? You decide. This next video comes from content creators who work off the coast of Maine and describe themselves as the lobster captains of the FV Frequent Flyer. While filming one of their usual drives, they pass an old, decaying house sitting alone in the woods, and what they capture on camera leaves them completely baffled. Watch.
So this house, the first time we passed it, Chase said the bottom part was not blinking. It was on, but it wasn't blinking. See how the different lights are at different intervals? The kitchen light being on. And then in the fire room over there, there's a light that's going off and on. No one lives here. I think that this house may be haunted. Chase is gonna go inside and check it out.
Fuck you, I am.
Ladies and gentlemen, this house is vacant right now. And it's more than one electrical circuit, so it can't be one malfunctioning.
For some reason, the lights inside the house are flickering, but here's the weird part. The creators confirmed that the owners live out of state and did not have power on. So, what exactly is going on in this house? A year later, they return to check on the same property, and what they capture this time is even more unsettling. Take a look.
Who would pay for electricity? Whoa, something just changed. Did you just see that? Something most definitely just changed.
What changed?
One of the lights paused for a second. There's no cars. It's 10 o'clock at night. This is 1 year later. Now, we did meet the girl that grew up here. This was her childhood home. She absolutely 100% said it was haunted.
She actually made
a video. What is her screen name? Jenna
something, I can't remember.
She 100% confirmed that this house is haunted. I just can't imagine anybody keeping the fucking power on for the lights to blink.
Now, aside from the creators confirming their story with someone named Jenna, things take a strange turn in the comments section. Jenna's sister, Alyssa, leaves a message confirming the house is, in her words, haunted. She writes, Jenna is my sister, and I am also going to confirm that this house is haunted. Another very strange thing the creators revealed was that the house had been abandoned for years, but the family never put it up for sale and simply just let it rot. But the strangest part of all, and maybe the most unsettling, happened the next morning when the creators returned for one last look. Here's what they captured.
So it looks like one light downstairs is blinking, but the upstairs light isn't. This is a house during the daytime. Timer maybe? I don't know. But as you can see, it's definitely grown up. Okay, let's get the hell out of here. Screw this place. So one light is on, blinking, but the upstairs and the downstairs second light that was blinking is not on.
Viewers got into overdrive and started picking out even more details, pointing to shapes, shadows, and faces that the creators hadn't noticed at all. And while the creators haven't posted any updates since then, these videos still circulate and continue to raise questions. Was something hiding in plain sight all along? Or is there a more rational explanation behind the flickering lights and shadowy figures? This one remains a mystery. The following is about a Canadian woman widely known for documenting her life in what many now call one of the most haunted houses on the internet. Her videos are filled with recurring eerie sounds, fleeting shadows, and unsettling encounters. But she's also built a following around her thrift store finds, unboxings, creepy dolls, and vintage items that seem to carry strange energy. One quiet evening, she's in the kitchen when she hears voices drifting from the laundry room. But this isn't new to her. As someone deeply familiar with the paranormal, she instinctively starts calling out, asking questions, trying to see if something will respond. Watch.
Hi guys. Thanks Chris, thanks for the heart. This doll doesn't seem to be doing much of anything at this point. Whatever's going on, we're getting a lot of activity from that room. A lot of noise coming from there. A lot of app activity from there. I just don't feel comfortable over there. Do you? Mm-mm. Are you still in that room? If you're in that room, give me a sign. Oh yeah, I never thought flashlight. If you're in the room, give me a sign. Did you hear that? Who's there? Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Okay. You heard that, right?
Yep.
Was that you?
I'm trying to there.
Okay. I'm scared to go near it. What are you doing? I was ready to run for the stairs. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm trying to... Okay, I'm trying to breathe. Okay. Who is this?
I think it's toying with us.
Frig! The cat scared me! Frig, I can't. My heart is in my throat. What was that noise, though? It was a thump. Yeah, keep the flashlight like that. If there's anything moving, we can see. Who's here? Holy shit. That was loud, whatever that was. My nose is starting to run because it's gotten cold.
Do I turn it off?
I keep thinking something's gonna fly out at me. Frig, I don't like that.
Oh, no.
I don't like that. Who's here? Say your name. Say your name.
The loud bang, the inhuman growl, the abrupt silence as she speaks, the sudden drop in temperature, and then the scream. This exact pattern of events is textbook poltergeist activity, a kind of disturbance believed to be caused by a restless or malevolent spirit. But the truly disturbing part came after viewers noticed something creepy. At the point when she's pointing the flashlight toward the curtain, if you look closely, you'll notice a large face. Clip. Sometimes it takes a crowd to spot what one person misses in the moment, but despite what she captured on camera, she decides to stay. And nearly a year after posting the first clip, this happened.
Okay guys, I'm in the laundry room, and a lot of you know we hung the wind chimes down in the basement the other day. We've been hearing them off and on, and I'm down here alone and I just heard them. They're moving. And there's an orb. They're moving.
Among her many old collectibles is a wind chime. Innocent looking, but somehow always at the center of strange occurrences. Watch closely, you'll see orbs floating around it. But here's where things get truly unsettling. Unlike most orb sightings, which are only visible through a lens, she can see these orbs with her own eyes. And that's a big deal, because in the paranormal world, naked eye orb sightings are rare and usually indicate a high energy presence. Some believe these are spirits attempting direct contact, while others think they're remnants of something far older and far less human. Still, she insists the presence in her home isn't there to harm her, and while that may be true, we can only hope she's right. In this next video, a couple is fast asleep when their bedroom camera picks up something no one can explain. Take a look. At first glance, it's easy to assume it was just the cat, but after watching it over and over again, the wife, Hannah, is convinced this wasn't her cat at all. And once you hear her breakdown, you might start to see it differently too. She explains that her first reaction was also to blame the cat, but something didn't sit right. The eyes. They seem to appear out of nowhere, and more importantly, she accounts for all three of their cats. One is clearly perched on the headboard, the other two are 10 feet away from the bed. So what, or who, was right behind her sleeping partner? She adds that there are no mirrors, no windows, and no lights on, just a dark hallway behind the bed, and an open closet. And that's what really got people talking. Many viewers now believe whatever was behind her partner came out from the closet. Hannah's still shaken up and admits she can't unsee it, so the question remains, are those the eyes of a ghost like she believes? Or is there another explanation still waiting to be uncovered? You decide. Now, in this next clip, a mother takes her little girl to Phoenix Children's Hospital, where they encounter something they both, at the time, described as a friendly ghost. Have a look.
Okay, go. Who is it?
It's so weird.
Is it you?
Is it me? It's not me.
It's motion sensor. There's no one over there. Okay, do it one more time.
Do it one more time, please.
Okay. One last time.
Okay. Wait, so are we friends now? Can you do it again if we're friends now?
Oh.
We're not friends? You don't like me? Okay.
Are you a doctor?
Are you a... Wait, so do it again if you're a doctor. Wait, are you messing with us or are you actually a doctor? I don't know. Are you just messing with us? Okay. Well.
I don't know.
At first, the moment felt lighthearted, almost magical. The little girl was smiling, and the mother found it charming that something so unusual had happened during their hospital visit. But once they got home and posted the video online, everything changed. The comments started flooding in, and with them, stories that completely reframed what they experienced. Several former staff members said that in the old ER, the TV would turn on and off by itself, and even maintenance crews could never figure out why. But that wasn't the most unsettling part. One comment pointed out that room 28 in the old ER is never used anymore and hasn't been for years because of multiple reported sightings of a girl ghost known to attack patients. Others claimed they had seen a nurse walk straight through a wall or heard footsteps echoing through empty corridors, especially at night. One father shared that during his son's extended stay, they'd take night walks near the cafeteria, only to hear children laughing and playing in the halls below. But every time they went to check, the place was empty. And here's the most disturbing part. Beneath the cafeteria, there's a morgue. When you take all of that in, every whispered story, every unexplained sound, it makes that moment between mother and daughter feel far more terrifying than sweet. They thought they'd met a friendly ghost, but now they're not so sure. Is this hospital really haunted? I'd love to know if you've ever been to Phoenix Children's Hospital and what you experienced. Now, in this next clip, Brian is in his living room filming a wholesome moment about how good life can feel when you slow down, listen to some good music, and choose happiness. But then, while he was recording, something strange appeared in his phone camera. Watch closely.
Look at the bloody. Huh? There's nothing there, but on the phone it looks like there's a What? Hold up, let me take this off. What is... Oh my god, there's nothing there! What the... Hello? What the... Can y'all see it? No, run. Oh my god, I see her shadow. There's something at the window. There's something. I'm gonna turn on the lights now. I don't want to play. There's something at the window. Put this down. There's something at the window. Hello? But there's nothing there when I shoot. Shit! Why are they making my life freeze? My life is freezing. There's literally something there. Bloody Mary.
What's truly unsettling is that he could see it only through the phone, but when he looked up at the wall directly, nothing was there. Some believe phone lenses pick up frequencies or energies that the human eye can't detect, especially when entities aren't fully materialized. But was this really the case? Seconds later, he gets this intense feeling, like someone's standing right by the window, but when he turns, no one's there. Now, if you pay close attention to the footage, you'll notice something even creepier. There's a brief moment where a hand-like shape moves, followed by what looks like a figure slowly moving out of the corner of the wall. Brian says he was completely alone that night and insists there's no way anyone else could have been inside. So like other videos, this remains unsolved. The following video captures yet another strange moment in Jenna's house, one of many that oddly only seem to happen when she's not around. For weeks, all she's had were secondhand accounts from her partner about weird noises and unexplainable events, but this time, her mom and siblings happened to be visiting and they finally caught something on camera. Watch.
I saw a shadow figure today in my house, and now my dog's been barking at the ceiling for 5 minutes.
Get it, Athena. What is it?
The dog's behavior here is the creepy part. For nearly 5 minutes straight, it's pacing, growling, barking, and completely restless. Now, any pet owner knows dogs don't fake fear. When a dog is this agitated, it usually means it's reacting to something real, which could either be physical or not. Jenna was advised to sage the house, and she agrees it's probably the right move. But here's where things get interesting. She only has a small, brittle sage stick she describes as pretty chintzy. So now she's wondering, does the quality of sage actually matter when it comes to spiritual cleansing? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. In this next clip, a mom hears her kid's toy going off in the middle of the night. She gets up, half asleep, just planning to turn it off like usual, but then something else moves, and it's not what you'd expect. Watch closely.
So this is the same toy that used to go off in the past. And it's always terrified me since. Because I would ask it questions and it would answer with noises.
Now here's what's strange. The toy making noise on its own? She's used to that. It's happened so many times, even after people advised her to take the batteries out, which she eventually did. But the sound didn't stop. Still, the creepiest part isn't the toy, it's what's sitting right there on the table beside it. You'll notice a plastic hand completely still until one finger twitches. Paranormal or not, this one is hard to shake. Now, in this next clip, James and his friend are exploring an old school building late at night, after hearing rumors of strange noises echoing through the classrooms. As they follow the sound, this is what they capture.
What is that? I think it's coming from a deep. Is it that one? I think.
Attention please, there has been a report of an emergency. Proceed calmly to exit and leave the building immediately. All handicapped occupants shall use the building evacuation plan.
A baby crying alone in an abandoned classroom at night is the kind of sound that immediately puts you on edge because it doesn't belong there. But just as they reach the door, something attacks them. You can hear the panic in their voices as they run for their lives. Now here's where the real debate begins. Some people believe they should have gone back with the police to make sure there wasn't an actual child in danger. But others, including several who've worked in abandoned or reportedly haunted buildings, warn that sounds like a crying baby are a known paranormal lure, a tactic used to draw people in. It's been documented in other cases where the sound leads to nowhere, or to something much worse. James never went back, and after what happened, can you really blame him? I'll leave this one up to you to decide. In the following video, Marcus Belton was driving home through Ravens Hollow, Maine, exhausted after a long shift and just wanting to crawl into bed. But as he entered his street, his headlights lit up his driveway and he saw something that took him off guard.
Okay, so I just got home from work and there should be nobody at my house right now. I mean, it should be completely empty. But I just pulled up and what is that? Is that a person? What the fuck is that? There should be nobody in the house. Nobody at all. Okay, well. Guess I'll check it out. Okay.
Someone in a dark hoodie was standing really still and silent by his door, almost like they had been waiting for him the whole time. This was strange because Marcus lived alone, wasn't expecting anyone, and nobody had a spare key, so whoever that was, they definitely weren't supposed to be there. He stepped out of the car and hurried toward the house, but by the time he reached the door, the figure had vanished. Just like that, no sound, no running, no one walking away, like the person disappeared into thin air. Marcus looked around, checked for prints or any sign someone had actually been there, but he didn't find a single trace. He tried to make sense of it, but the only explanation that stuck was the one he didn't want to believe. A paranormal entity had been there. This video was recorded at a primary school in Ohio where students and teachers often joke about a ghost said to haunt room 3B. You'll hear things like, "Say hi when you walk past room 3B, he likes it." Everyone knew who he was supposed to be, the ghost of a little boy who died long ago and, according to legend, never really left. Most people laughed it off as a harmless story, but that all changed one night when a janitor heard light giggling echoing through the empty hallway. That moment stirred curiosity among some of the teachers, and one Friday evening, they decided to stay late and check the school's security footage from the hallway outside room 3B. They watched in silence, expecting nothing, but then something happened.
Никого не встречаем. Вот он пошел.
Я к нему как-то уже это лояльно.
Ну так спокойно.
И что, на одном месте?
Мы все здороваемся с ним теперь.
Да, я ему говорю привет.
Видишь ребенок?
Видишь, как ребенок.
Когда выходит на черное, его сильно вообще видно. Снимай это. Иди сюда, мы же его... Мы забыли вывести, это можно уже на большой экран вывести.
Смотри на большом экране.
Смотри.
Вот ходит, сейчас спустится. Вон он идет, видишь?
Видишь? Вот здесь вообще как ребенок, смотри, да?
Капец, Сережа, ты видишь? Ну, конечно, вот и в телефоне вот он тоже. И в
вот он
актовом
написано.
зале их там 3 штуки играют. О, ничего
вечером.
себе.
Но они летают.
Они
Здравствуйте.
летают, как бы играют.
Они там не ходят, они
А
летают.
вон сейчас уже на
А я
стенке,
подошла
на стенке.
К лестнице.
Это включила, ничего не снимает телефон там.
At first, it was faint, like a shadow that shouldn't have been there, but as they leaned closer, it looked like a little kid. It started moving, and within seconds, it was gone. Most would have dismissed it if it wasn't caught on camera, but this time, the evidence was undeniable. The footage was later submitted to the school board and eventually shared with a local paranormal investigator. For now, Room 3B remains locked after hours, not because of fear, but because they're waiting to see if it happens again. And if it does, the next step might not just be investigation, it could be a full-on cleansing. Devin Hale is a 34-year-old architect living alone in a quiet neighborhood just outside Portland, Oregon. One evening, while relaxing and watching TV like usual, he suddenly heard a loud crash from the kitchen, like a whole stack of plates hitting the floor. He jumped up, ran to check, and that's when things got real. Watch this.
Excuse me. Are you back there again? This has become its favorite spot. Now, and there he is. Okay, that's enough water, please. Okay. Everyone can see you in their reflection, bud. Everyone can see you in their reflection. And it's gone. Okay, I know he's not in here, but I just want anyone who's watching to see. This is too small, but just like it's not. I just wanted you to see. The cabinets are knocking again. I'm leaving. Out. That's enough for today.
He stood there trying to convince himself he had imagined it, because that's what we all do, right? But then the kitchen tap turned on. And no, it wasn't one of those motion sensor types. His tap needed to be turned manually. Still confused, but trying to stay calm, he walked over and turned it off, thinking the problem was solved. But as soon as he stepped back, the tap turned on again. The fact that he had to turn it off himself meant something else must have physically turned it on, and that something was certainly not human. He decided to check the laundry room next door, but as he approached, he saw a dark shadow shaped like a person. He ran into the laundry room, which was completely empty, but he was absolutely sure someone or something was watching him. Ever since that night, the tap in Devin's kitchen has developed a creepy habit. Every single night at exactly 8:13 p.m., it turns itself on. Devin has tried plumbing repairs and even got a new faucet, but nothing changed. At this point, there's no other way to explain it. This was definitely a ghost. He sent the footage to a group of investigators, and based on the behavior and strength of the entity's presence, they concluded it was a demon. I hope he receives all the help he needs. I hate seeing kind and normal people pulled into the world of the paranormal, especially when all they wanted was a sense of peace or closure. Eric and Naomi Dalton live in a quiet neighborhood in Flagstaff, Arizona, and had been missing Eric's late father more than usual lately. One afternoon, in a lighthearted moment, they joked about asking for a sign. One of those, "If you're out there, give us a hint." Moments you never expect to actually work, but what followed made them wonder if someone had truly been listening. Around 12:40 p.m., they were checking on their dog through their indoor camera when they noticed something unusual. See for yourself what the camera picked up. Before you dismiss it as faulty wiring, Eric explained their bedroom faces the bathroom and there's no shared lighting between the rooms. Plus, their blackout curtains are thick and pulled all the way down, so no light should be coming through at all. At first, the faint glow might look like a trick of the eye or a smudge on the camera lens, but then the light begins to move, slowly and deliberately, like someone waving a dim torch back and forth. But this wasn't the first strange thing to happen in their home, but it was the first time it happened in daylight, and Eric said it felt different and stronger this time, like someone or something was truly listening. They've since saged the house, kept a nightlight on in the hallway, and tried to pretend things are back to normal. Hopefully it stays that way. Camille Moreau is a single mom living in Lyon, France, and not long ago, she moved into what she thought was her dream apartment. But it didn't take long before that dream started to feel like a nightmare she couldn't wake up from. One night, just as she was about to fall asleep, she heard a loud bang from somewhere inside the apartment and walked toward the bathroom. She wasn't prepared for what happened next. The toilet seat moved all by itself, and Camille ran into the next room to catch her breath. But before she could even process what she saw, a picture frame that had been sitting perfectly still for weeks fell flat on its face. Things escalated quickly, and before she could move, the door slammed shut, the lights began to flicker, random objects rolled across the floor. Then a slow, eerie melody started playing from somewhere inside the walls, like the building itself was singing. Scared for her kids, Camille did what any good mother would do. She sent her kids to live with their father, but she's still stuck there because all her savings went into that apartment, and now she's asking for help. She has reached out for help and is hoping a paranormal expert can step in and bring some peace back into her life. We wish Camille the best in banishing this spirit once and for all. Some videos are not about what was seen, but more about what was heard, and trust me, it's the kind of sound that stays with you long after the video ends. A family in Pennsylvania decided to check their doorbell camera after the motion detector went off around 3:17 a.m., and when they looked, there was no person outside, no package was dropped off, it was just light. Watch closely and listen carefully to what they found. Small, glowing shapes floating and swirling like they had a mind of their own. But what really gives you chills isn't the light, it's the sound. The faint, scratchy voice loops repeatedly, saying, "Can you tell me how to get?" And that's it. The question never finishes. It just repeats over and over, like someone stuck in time, trying to ask something they never get to say. Some believe it's a lost spirit asking for directions in the only way it knows how. Others think it's simply residual energy trapped in a loop. But with no one there, no interference, and no technical faults to explain what was captured, this was certainly a ghost. A security supervisor at a museum in California worked there for 3 years, and from day one, people warned him the elevator was haunted, but he dismissed it as just another strange workplace story. Over time, the weird stories kept coming, and during one of his night shifts, at exactly 3:40 a.m., he witnessed something he couldn't explain. Watch what the camera caught that night. The inside light of the elevator by right suddenly turned on, and it stayed on for nearly an hour and a half, until 5 a.m. The next day, they ran a full diagnostic on the elevator, electrical tests, door sensors, motion detectors, but there were no malfunctions, no power surges, absolutely nothing to explain what happened. But let's be real, elevators don't activate themselves for over an hour without cause, and if no one was inside, then something else was. Whether it was the restless ghost people whispered about, or a more powerful entity tied to the building, one thing's clear, this wasn't a glitch. It was paranormal. Shortly after, they brought in a priest to bless the building, and the elevator specifically. They even closed off the elevator for 2 weeks. We hope this will be the end of the paranormal activity. Jane and her partner recently booked a night at a hotel they've heard several stories about, like doors opening and closing on their own, and guests checking out early with pale faces and nervous laughter. But instead of getting scared, they got curious. They didn't just want stories, they wanted proof, and that's exactly what their camera caught.
It's okay. I can see you. Come to me. Are you a little boy? It's okay. Come here. It's okay. I don't know if my eyes are playing tricks on me, but it looks like it's going like back and forth. You see a movie? See a movie?
Oh.
It's okay.
No, wait. Come back.
Come here.
No, you come back. Go straight, look straight towards me. No, turn towards me like you were earlier. Put your back towards me.
With no footsteps and no sound at all, the shadow was still, till it started moving. Instead of freaking out, Jane leaned forward, but her partner was clearly feeling nervous, so he told her to step back, and that's when a shadow moved across the room. It looked like the shadow of a child, and was fast like something alive and playful. The couple barely slept that night, and when the sun came up, they packed their bags and checked out without looking back. After reviewing the footage back home, Jane and her partner decided to send it to a local paranormal investigator who had studied that hotel for years. What he told them confirmed what they already felt in their gut. The shadow wasn't a trick of the light. In fact, similar sightings had been reported before, all pointing to the same room, the same childlike figure. The expert believes the spirit might still be searching for her family, for peace, or simply for someone to notice. One thing's for sure, now that she's been seen again, the activity may only grow stronger. In the following video, a woman who goes by the nickname Bulldog Mom is in her kitchen, casually watching a Mr. Balance story on her phone, when she hears her daughter shouting in the living room. Watch. What's disturbing about this is that the noise only happens when she's home alone and never when friends or family are around. When she posted the clip online, viewers jumped in with theories. Some suggested it might be a spirit trying to communicate. Others urged her to dig into the house's history, just in case something traumatic ever occurred there that left an imprint. But here's the creepy part. There's no pattern and no timing, just these random bursts of noise. She has reached out to a medium in hopes of getting some answers about if there's a spirit present and what exactly it wants. Until then, she's keeping her phone close, in case the noises return. This next clip was recorded around 3 a.m. when Kurhaz's young daughter suddenly wakes up, and what follows is hard to explain. Have a look.
It ain't nothing, babe. It's a dirty hand.
No! No!
It's the cover, look. It's the cover.
No!
You gonna mommy?
No, no, no.
It's dirty hand. It's my hand.
The little girl looks terrified, and she's staring at something no one else can see. She says she feels something touching her, but there's no one there. According to Kurhaz, this has been happening for weeks now. Every time around 3 a.m., her daughter wakes up terrified, unable to speak clearly, shaking and clutching her arms like she's being grabbed, and it doesn't end quickly. On this particular night, it lasted until 9:45 a.m., and she wouldn't eat, wouldn't drink, wouldn't sleep, and neither could her parents. Kurhaz writes, "As a mom, it's so hard to hold it together when something like this happens. They've taken her to several doctors, but every medical test comes back normal with no physical symptoms or psychological diagnosis. But here's where it gets even more unsettling. A neighbor mentioned something that made all this make sense. Apparently, the land their home was built on used to house an old orphanage that burned down over a century ago. Several children were trapped inside and never made it out. And now, every night at 3 a.m., her daughter seems to respond to something only she can see. It's as though a presence is reaching out to her, another child perhaps, who didn't want to be alone. Kurhaz contacted their family priest, and they performed a spiritual bath and house cleansing. Since then, things have been quiet. Just like the last clip, in this next video, Chandler is folding clothes when she hears her daughter, Nellie, yelling from the living room and arguing with someone. Thinking her little girl was just playing pretend again, she goes to check, only to find this. Nellie is yelling at someone or something, insisting it isn't their turn on the swing. But here's the disturbing part. They were completely alone in the house. And what started as a harmless outburst quickly spiraled. Nellie broke down crying uncontrollably, that Chandler had to drop her phone and rush to comfort her. But it took hours before the little girl could calm down. Even then, she kept pointing at different corners of the room, screaming, "No!" at something no one else could see. After finally falling asleep, Chandler reviewed the footage and shared it online. That's when viewers noticed something unsettling. Nellie didn't just fall. It looked like she was pushed. Chandler still doesn't know what her daughter saw that day, but Nellie hasn't played in that room since. Whatever she was pointing at, it made her cry like she was being warned, or worse, threatened. And if she really was pushed, it raises a darker possibility. Maybe it wasn't just a tantrum, and maybe something wanted her off that swing. But like other videos, I'll let you decide. In this next video, Silva is winding down for the night after hosting a small girls' night with her friends. The house is quiet, everyone's asleep, and she's doing a final sweep, switching off lights, powering down devices, and clearing up a few things before heading to bed. But then this happens.
Oh my god. No les miento. No hay nada prendido. Like, the TV's off. The computer's off. That phone is off. ¿Y si oyeron lo que se oía? Les voy a enseñar acá. Like, everything is off in here too. The kitchen, la idea está abierta porque la dejé abierta. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Even though every device was turned off, the TV, the speakers, even the phone, she could hear voices that sounded like someone was speaking. On the television, that was clearly powered down. So where was the sound coming from? Some viewers suggest it's the mirrors that are amplifying or even channeling energy from another realm. But not everyone buys that, and in Silva's case, it's hard to ignore the possibility. She later revealed this wasn't the first time strange things have happened in her home, and that she's been haunted for nearly 3 years. So while many urge her to move, she claims the presence in her home doesn't feel hostile, and that being haunted is just part of her routine now. But here's the question, can someone really get used to being haunted? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. If there's one thing that's helped prove the paranormal exists, it's cameras. Because while we might blink, turn away, or sleep, cameras never stop watching, and sometimes they catch things we can't explain. Dan had always told his friends there was something off about his house. Doors would slam without warning, lights flicker, but only when he walks past them. And late at night, the sound of someone walking down the hallway, even when he was the only one home. Still, his friends weren't convinced. So one night, before heading to bed, Dan sets up a camera and then this happens. Watch closely. The door doesn't just shut, it slams, with force. And if it had been a draft, the nearby blinds and other things around the area should have moved. But everything else remained perfectly still. Now, combined with all the other bizarre incidents he'd experienced in that house, this footage sealed it for him. He was convinced something was living there. And it wasn't human. The following month, Dan and his family packed up and sold the house. Let's just hope whatever was inside didn't decide to follow them. There's something eerie about buying secondhand items, especially when you don't know where they've been or what they've been through. In this next clip, a man named Luke captures something bizarre happening with his washing machine. For context, he picked it up from a local thrift store a few weeks ago. But ever since bringing it home, he's noticed something isn't quite right. One quiet morning, Luke is on the phone in the living room when he hears an odd sound coming from the laundry area. So he grabs his camera and starts recording. Have a look.
My dryer is not even on and it's doing this noise.
Despite being completely empty and turned off, the machine keeps making this strange noise. What's even stranger is that every time Luke approaches the machine to check it out, especially when he opens the dryer door, the noise intensifies, as if whatever's inside doesn't want to be disturbed. He's had it checked twice by different repair specialists, and both times they said the same thing. The machine is in perfect working condition. So if it's not mechanical, then what is it? Luke is convinced there's something paranormal at play, but some viewers have offered alternative theories ranging from trapped air to magnetic interference. Whatever the truth is, no one really knows, and like many of the videos we've seen, this one remains unsolved. This next video comes from a well-known fitness coach, famous for his intense, no-excuse workouts. But one day, it wasn't the gym that had him sweating, it was something else. On a regular day, while cleaning his house one afternoon, this happens.
Who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters, apparently, because I've made many videos in this house and I have never had any type of ghost activity, meaning can't see nothing, there's nothing to be heard on the thing, because I know sometimes cameras and voice recorders pick up other noises. Check this out. So here I was recording on Riverside. Listen to this. Tell me if you don't think it's spooky. It keeps going after that little clip I showed you. There's no kids in the house. Partner's not doing anything. I think it's time to do a cleansing. Or Ghostbusters. Somebody come get this thing out my house. Ugh.
If you listen closely, you'll hear a strange, unexplainable sound echoing through the house, and it clearly caught him off guard. He immediately stopped recording and reached out to a local ghost hunter, and also scheduled a full house cleansing, just to be safe. When he posted the clip online, many viewers said the sound felt peaceful, like a calm, protective energy, but he's not buying it. As he writes, "Ain't no spirits, good or evil, living in my house." After the cleansing, he hasn't heard anything like it since, and he hopes he never does again. On July 9th, 2025, a ghost hunter named Moxley sets out alone into a forest known for something few dare to even speak of, a haunted underground tunnel. Locals avoid the area entirely, but Moxley decided to explore the forest at night. Over the years, there have been countless reports, sightings of a woman in a red dress, shadow figures weeping, screaming, and most disturbingly, laughing. But no one stays long enough to get answers. He begins by investigating the forest perimeter, calling out to whatever might be there and inviting any presence to respond.
So you were a soldier. What year do you think it is?
Darkness.
Darkness. Can you see me? You see what I'm doing? Can you come and show yourself to me? Show me who you are.
Still hoping to communicate, he steps into the tunnel, but the moment he sets up his gear, everything shifts. He described it as an overwhelming wave of fear, like someone was standing right behind him. But when he turned around, no one was there.
Who's here? That's literally giving me goosebumps. Is there someone here? I'll turn it back again. No, seriously.
Where is him?
Who have I got to be wary of? Every single time I turn my back. Can you tell me his name? Tell me who you are. Every time I turned my back then, there was a noise behind me like something was moving towards me. Was that you moving around behind me? If it was, can you tell me who you are? Move this camera back a little bit. Last time I was here, you said this was your grave, if I'm correct?
Am I dead?
I can't really answer that one.
Out.
Out. Do you want me to get out? Do you want me to leave? I'll leave if you want me to. This camera keeps losing focus. I'll tell you what, I'll leave if you want.
Shaken, he went back to the forest and encountered something even stranger. A conversation with a spirit that left him with more questions than answers.
It's been said that you like to scare people out of this place. Last time I was here, I said it earlier, you scared me out of those tunnels. Was there something with the tunnel? You're protecting something down in the family. You're protecting your family. Was your family buried down in the tunnels? I keep saying tunnels, there's just one tunnel. Was that your family's burial ground? Are you happy that they started to plant new trees here? Trying to save the land? Maybe you won't be so angry trying to scare people away. I might come back here and camp right in this spot. Would you be okay with me camping out here?
They killed me.
Right, I got that last time they killed me. Who killed you? Tell me their names. You said that last time I was here, that somebody killed you out here. Tell me their names, tell me your name. Getting that weird feeling like you're being watched. Are you watching me?
Still searching for clarity, Moxley made the bold decision to return to the tunnel, and that's when things took a dark, terrifying turn.
Oh, I can't stand in this.
Will you stay a while?
I can't stay in here for a while. This absolutely stinks. Right, this smells of sulphur. And it just smells of pure death. Can you stay a while? I don't think I'll be staying down here. I'm gonna go back upstairs. I can't cope with this smell. No, I need to go out. What the? What the? What the? What the? You there? You playing with me? Right. No. Let's get out of here. That stunk.
He started smelling sulfur in the air, and as they say, when you smell sulfur, the devil's not far behind. Suddenly, he felt a cold breath brush the back of his neck, but when he turned, there's no one there. This time, he didn't ask questions, he left immediately. Could it have been the woman in red who many say is the guardian of the tunnel? Or is there another explanation for what happened down there? Let me know your thoughts on this one. The following video is about a guy named Kyle who has refused to leave his house despite overwhelming proof that it's haunted. One time it's aggressive bangs echoing from the attic, another time it's disembodied voices whispering from his crawl space, but now it's happening right inside his living room. Watch this.
Yo, I swear I just heard footsteps in here. Like three times now. It just happened again. Listen. What the heck? It had a voice this time. Holy shoot. Tell me you heard that. I don't know if my camera picked it up or not. What the heck? I don't know. What the fuck? Oh my god. Yo. What the heck? Did you hear that?
Some people claimed they could hear a whining sound, others swore it was a child's voice. And more terrifying, several viewers pointed out the presence of a shadow. Now, here's where things get controversial. Some speculated that this shadow could mean he's dealing with a demon, but others quickly disagreed, saying demons don't cast shadows because they're not of this world. On the flip side, some argue that shadows could actually be their way of manifesting, proving their existence by leaving just enough of a trace in our reality. So, which side are you on? Was this really a demon showing itself, or something else entirely?